If you feel confused on how to use the execute workflow trigger node, then this video is exactly for you. So I'm going to show you how to actually use it correctly so you can start implementing it within your automation. So let's get right into the video. Alright, so we have two workflows right here that we're going to be running, and this is the main one which we will be using to call workflow B. Now let me quickly show you how workflow B looks like. Alright, so right there, this is workflow B, and simply all the data that it's going to return is the name of John. That's all I wanted to return. So let me go ahead and actually execute the workflow so that you can see that it's going to return the output of John. So there you go, and then we have the name as John right there. Now I'm basically just going to show you how to use this node right here to call the other workflow so you can start implementing it within your automation. So we're going to be rebuilding this exact automation, the purpose of showing you how it actually works and how it all connects together with each other. Alright, so the very first thing I want you to go ahead and do is I want you to go ahead and create your main workflow first. So workflow 8, the main one that you'll be using to call the other workflow. So let's go ahead and rename that workflow A. There we go. And now what you're gonna do is just basically click trigger manually. That means that whenever you click execute workflow, then the automation will start to run. And now what I want you to now come ahead and do is type in execute sub workflow. What that means is call the other workflow. So go ahead and click the execute sub workflow and do not pick anything because you don't have workflow B yet, so you don't have the other automation to even use this correctly yet. So you're gonna go ahead, you're not gonna pick anything, so just rename that workflow B so you know which workflow it's going to call. So now what you want to go ahead is type out set as well, and what the set node is basically just a place for you to format everything, like your input or your output, what's coming in and what goes out. So let's go ahead and put in name right there and rename that to output. Now that we have workflow A set up right here, let's go ahead and actually set up workflow B. Alright, so all you basically do is create another workflow and then name that whatever you want. I'm gonna call it B because it's workflow B. Now what you immediately want to come ahead and put down there is execute workflow. So execute sub workflow, and you're gonna pick the when executed by another workflow. So that means when the main workflow calls this one that we want to use. And the input data, all you want to do, this basically means how should it receive the input coming from the main workflow. So all you want to do is just pick accept all data. That way you can work with everything you're sending from the main workflow to the sub workflow in case you want to process any data. Alright, and all we're going to add now here is just type another set node, and then we're gonna come ahead and click over here, type in name, and you can put in whatever name you want to do there. So I'm just gonna rename that John again, and that is the input that we're going to receive. An important thing I want you to note: before you go back to your main workflow, you need to publish it so that the main workflow is actually able to see that this workflow B is active and it can call it and use it in the main workflow to begin with. Because if it's not even published in the first place, then workflow A will not even be able to use workflow B at all. So let's go back to workflow A. There we go. Now we can actually go ahead to the workflow, the execute workflow right here, and then now you can go ahead and pick the workflow which is B. That's the one we just named, and run once for all items. That's all you want to do. And now what you'll see is that it actually goes ahead and it grabs all of that information. So it grabs the name, so execute the workflow, and there you go. It went ahead and it grabbed the name of John from workflow B. So let's go ahead, we click and drag that all the way to the value so that the output actually is name. As you can see currently right now it's empty, but now if we go ahead and execute the workflow again, now the output will be John. So there you go. That's all you need to do. So that's how you call workflow B while being inside of workflow A, your main workflow. And I hope you found that useful and that this was simple enough for you to understand. And another thing, I already have some automations already built out in the description for your business that you can just go ahead and download and immediately start implementing inside of your business. So if you're already on that level, then you can go ahead and download it for yourself. But besides all of that, that brings us to the end of the video, and I hope you found that useful.